Hi, everybody. Welcome to our coach training call. Today is May 6th, and I got a bunch to talk about today. So if you have any questions, just interrupt me. So I want to start with challenge groups, talking about, challenge groups. Tina and Sharon, you both have been in a challenge group. Actually, currently you're in challenge groups. So that's good. So challenge groups are actually the bread and butter to our business, and they were designed because Beachbody is more than just selling products. They actually want people to use the products, and they actually want to prevent them from collecting dust on their shelf, and they want their customers to reach their goals. And that's why challenge groups are were developed, because they found that people that were doing the same program. I think P90X was like one of the first ones that came out, and like they were doing the same program, and they were sharing, supporting each other, and they just saw like a lot of success in the support, the peer-to-peer support. So that's what the challenge group is about. And there's so many benefits to the challenge group, because number one, it gives us the opportunity to show that we're more than just selling a product, that we actually, as a coach, want to help our customers reach their health and fitness goals. And it gives us something to invite people to, instead of just, stay here, buy my product. We're giving them, we're inviting them to the support and, the motivation and, whatever, we do in challenge groups. So I think they're really awesome. And I know for me, it actually, if it wasn't for the challenge groups, I can tell you 100% I would not be here today. And I'll tell you why in a second. So, so that's actually one of the benefits of having challenge group, is that they actually use the products. But another is that if people have good experience in the challenge groups, we'll get referrals from people. Because they'll be like, oh, you got to try, this group, Shannon's amazing, and they'll give referrals. And then also another big benefit is that is how we can expand our team, because Tina and Sharon, were you both in groups before you became coaches?
Yes. No, I wasn't.
Okay. So
just the one that Kara had been.
Yeah, good. So this is a great way to actually get coaches to join your team, because, number one, they love the product. Number two, they love the experience in the challenge group. And number three, a lot of times they want to, pay it forward and become coaches themselves. So there's a lot of benefits from our challenge groups. So we want to make our challenge groups a really good experience for our challengers. So when you have a customer buy a product and they're entering into a challenge group, you are actually considered one of the coaches in the group. So it's very important that when you're a coach in the group, we usually do challenge groups as a team. I've never ran a group on my own. Some people do, and that's great. Whatever works best for you. Some people just prefer to, be in a pack, just a few coaches in one group, which is how I like it, only because I feel like we are all different and we all bring a certain value to the challenge. So the challenge groups, I don't know if you guys really understand where we get the posts every day, but I created a template for our team specifically to use so you don't have to reinvent the wheel, is what I'm saying. That it's just something that you just copy and paste per day. So I have them saved in our Dreamers, Believers, Achievers group, and your upline coach could tell you how to get to them. But anyway, so when you're a coach in a group and have challengers in a group, you would be expected to post in the group. And each coach usually takes a week at a time to post. And, and that's actually, there's a lot of positives to that. And I think it's important for each coach to post in a group, because number one, it shows you as a leader. And number two, it shows you as, somebody that they could come to you know, for support and to look up to and to, you know, come to you for advice and stuff like that. So it's very good to be present in the group. It's also very important that each coach comments. So say a challenger posts in the group, which I feel takes a lot of guts. I remember when I was a challenger myself, I was extremely nervous to post in a group and, you know, my frustrations and whatever. And I really enjoyed when each coach of the group responded. So even though, like, if it's not your challenger, it's still very important that each coach in the group responds to each post and also to each comment. Like if a challenger comments on one of the posts, that we respond to that challenger's comment. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'll give you a great example, because when I was through, as I mentioned earlier, I started my weight loss journey at the same day that I became a coach. So I was actually in the coach training group and my very first challenge group all at the same time as well. So, you know, it was 3 weeks into the challenge. I was doing T25 and I was doing Shakeology. I was eating clean. I didn't cheat. And 3 weeks into the challenge, I still I didn't see any changes on the scale whatsoever. And I became extremely discouraged and thought I was going to give up. Like I thought about giving up. Like I heard so many people, oh, T25, it's perfect, such a hard workout, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, maybe 25 minutes isn't enough for me, because I was always used to working out like for an hour, you know? So I posted my frustration into the group, and the coach told me, she's like, Shannon, in big letters, I'll never forget, she said, step away from the scale. And she promised me that my body was changing. The scale is not a good indicator of progress. She told me to actually try not to weigh myself at all until the end. And she said, she promised me that my body was changing and to just keep going. So I listened, and a week or two later, I took my 30-day picture, and I saw such a big difference for my day one picture. So if it wasn't for me posting my frustration, if it wasn't for that coach, who wasn't my coach, by the way, it was just another coach in the group. If she didn't post that comment, I would have given up, and I wouldn't be talking to you guys right now, because I would probably still be miserable in, you know, being 50 pounds heavier. So, you know, and I actually give that very same advice to my challengers now. Because it's a very real frustration, because I know for me, I was very addicted to the scale. I call myself a scaleaholic because I would weigh myself multiple times a day, and it was awful. So ever since then, she like proved me wrong that the scale was not a good indicator. So it just shows that the importance of commenting, and commenting something of value as well. So with that being said, it's very important for us to check in at least one time a day. I try and do it twice, in the morning and in the evening, but sometimes that doesn't always work for me. So I make sure that my main business hours are in the evening. So I make sure that I check in and I respond to everything that's in each challenge group. What else? And like I mentioned earlier, you know, it also, you know, we are all different people. We all come from different backgrounds. You know, Crystal's a nurse, Kara's an occupational therapist, I was a social worker. So we all have different backgrounds, we all have different opinions and different thoughts, and we can all bring a different value into the group, if that makes sense. Good. So another thing that I do to make sure that my challengers are having a good experience is I check in with them at least one time a week. Every Monday, I have scheduled to message each of my challengers just to see how things are going, how they are doing, to see if they've fallen off track, and if they did, you know, how can I motivate them to get started again? Because a lot of times, you know, it's the same story that is with me. They become discouraged because they're not seeing results, and they just feel like giving up, you know, and not everybody posts their frustration like I do. So I check in with them, you know, one time a week, just to make sure that they're staying on track. So I feel like that's a really good habit for everybody to get into. And typically when we are posting in a group, I like it, posting in the morning is generally when we post, just to give each challenger that motivation for the day. And excuse me. And so it'd be there when people are ready to check into the group. Does anybody have any questions regarding our challenge groups? Okay. So we run our challenge groups in our Dreamers, Believers, Achievers group the same every single month. So the first week of the month, we do a free group. I have always done a clean eating challenge because I really enjoy doing them and I find them very successful. But if anybody has any ideas of doing something different, I'm very open to it. And that's a 5-day group. And the reason why we do a free group is because it's very easy to get people to join a free group. And it's a perfect opportunity to start building a relationship and trust. And also, we then want them to get the experience of what, the support of a group is like. And then hopefully they'll enjoy it and want to transition to another, our 21-day challenge or 30-day challenge because of all the support, that they're getting. So, and then the third week of every month, we do a 21-day challenge or a 30-day challenge. Well, both, to give you guys something to invite to. So the 21-day challenge is for anybody doing the 21-day fix or the 21-day fix extreme. And the 30-day challenge group is a general group where they can choose any program. So I would definitely write those down on your calendar so you know what to expect every month, because it doesn't change. And then the last week of the month, we do what we call a 3-day coaching sneak peek. And what that is a 3-day group. Tina, I think you were in that, right? Sharon, were you too?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's when yes.
Yeah. So I personally feel that this is an excellent group to invite people to who you think would have a potential to want to be a health and fitness coach one day, especially as a new coach. Because I remember for me as a new coach, I had a really hard time explaining this coaching opportunity because there was just so much. I didn't really quite understand it myself. And it was just hard for me to explain. So just inviting people to this 3-day sneak peek, I think, is an excellent way to, show them all of the details, all of the information, about what we do as health and fitness coaches. And then back to the first week of every month is when we do a coach training. We start a new coach training. So, so if you know anybody that's interested, become a coach, you can invite them to the sneak peek. And then the following week is when we start our coach training, to train them that, the base, just like you're in now, basically. So, like I said, write that down on a calendar. Actually, a lot of coaches have a dry erase board kind of calendar and just so you can visualize every day, where we are in the month. So when you're posting, on Facebook, like basically what to post for. Okay, so does anybody have any question regarding our challenge groups? Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is rank advancement. And it's actually very, there's a lot of information here, so I'm going to try and explain it to the best of my ability. So when I first started as a coach, I made the very big mistake of only solely concentrating on selling products because I was a new stay-at-home mom. We were down one salary and I needed money in a very bad way. So my focus was just on challenge packs. My coach came to me many times and tried to talk to me about the value of rank advancing, but I had my blinders on and I'm like, no, I'm just selling challenge packs. And now I can tell you I regret it because I can be a lot further than where I am in the business, because when you rank advance, it's like your job promotion, and that's when you start making the bigger bucks. The higher the rank, the more money you make, basically, just like in any job. So so I like to share my mistakes so that I can help encourage you guys not to make the same. So with rank advancement, so right now you guys are coaches. And then the next rank is Emerald. The rank after that is Ruby, although most people skip Ruby. And then there's Diamond. And then from Diamond starts the 1-star, 2-star, all the way up to 15-star Diamond. So each rank advance there has its own little details, and I'm not going to go very far into the different ranks, only because I just feel like for me, it was just very overwhelming. I just like to learn the next rank ahead, so I wouldn't overwhelm myself with everything else. But it's good to know the benefits, though, of the higher rank advancements, because when you get to 2-star, that's when you start receiving quarterly bonuses, which are really nice bonuses. And and then you can open like another second business center, and it's like, that's my goal, is to get to 2-star soon. So, but anyway, so Emerald, like people, I want to say it's easy to hit Emerald because it's a lot easier than what I thought it was. And once I had my mind focused on hitting Emerald, I did it in a second. So Emerald means that you have 2 coaches underneath you. Each of us have a different, each coach has 2 legs. We have a left leg and we have a right leg. We have a strong leg and we have a weak leg. And we talked about this in the group, so in the training this week, so I'm not going to go into too much detail, but anyway, so Emerald is, you just have 2 coaches underneath you, one on your left leg, one on your right leg. So as a new coach, I thought, gosh, how the heck am I going to recruit 2 coaches underneath me when I don't even know what I'm doing? But it doesn't even need to be active coaches. It could be what we call discount coaches. So what I mean by discount coaches is people that are interested and like the products and want the discount, same discount as us, but they don't want to run the business, if that makes sense. So anybody can sign up because, you know, Beachbody, they don't pressure anybody to sell. You know, there's no minimum requirement that we have to sell. So you can simply sign up as a coach just for the discount. So, so you can easily, like, if you have a challenger that wants to join the group, you can even just simply say to them, you know, listen, you know, if you want, I can sign you up as, you know, some people call them a preferred customer. Or actually, to be honest with you, the way I approach it is, you know, once I get through the whole conversation and they're ready to order the challenge pack, I say to them, I'm like, would you be interested in learning about getting the same discount as me? I don't use the word coach right away because that just automatically scares people off. So would you like to get the same awesome discount as me, which is 25% off of all products? So instead of paying $143 a month with tax and shipping on Shakeology, I'm only paying $99.06. Like, who wouldn't want that awesome discount, right? We're doing them a favor. So that's basically, you know, how I approached it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the perks of being Emerald is, there's actually a lot of perks of being Emerald. So one of the perks is when you actually then start receiving what we call cycle bonuses. So we each have a strong and weak leg. So your strong leg is actually made up of your team members. Like, you'll see in your back office, you know, you have a leg of like your coaches, and then you have, you know, the same leg, there's other coaches underneath you that you're like, who are these people? Well, those people are people made throughout your team, people that are placed underneath you throughout the team. So each coach that's underneath you, you're getting their volume. So on your weak leg, that's the leg that basically you're trying to build. So when you have coaches on your weak leg and you hit a certain amount of volume, which is 100, and then you get 200 of the strong, this is going to be so confusing because you guys can't see me. And but anyway, you cycle bonus. So every time you get the 100 on the one leg, the 200 personal volume on the other leg, as an Emerald coach, you'll get $14. So that $14, you're like, it's only $14, right? But that $14 adds up. And then, so if you cycled like 5 times, what's 5 times 14? I don't have a calculator. So wait, 14.
70.
Thank you. That's an extra $70 that that was fast math. Thank you. That's $70 that you guys wouldn't have had just by selling challenge packs. So the more coaches you have underneath you, the more volume that you're going to build each week. And again, don't feel like if this is all confusing to you, you will understand it. It took me a long time to understand all this. So that's when you actually start receiving the extra money on top of just selling challenge packs. And then another perk is when you hit Success Club and your Emeralds, you'll start getting leads. So leads are people that go to, you know, the Beachbody website, or and sign up for a free club membership, or they you know, see an infomercial on TV about the 21-day fix and they want to buy a product. Each of those people are assigned a coach. So when you are Emerald and when you hit Success Club 5, you'll start getting, you know, 5 leads a month. Free. So that's free customers a month. If you hit Success Club 10, some of those leads, you will actually make the commission off their product. So that's free money right there. So that's only once you get up to the Emerald status. So those are really great bonuses. So what a lot of times a lot of people do is that they actually sign up their spouses and there's actually a video, I believe it was posted yesterday, a really good video of, or maybe it was today, of why to sign up your spouse. There's a lot of benefits to signing up your spouse or significant other, or, you know, friend, family member, whatever, to get to Emerald. And actually, I got to Emerald because I signed up my husband, and then I also signed up my sister-in-law. So that gave me the two people on each leg. My sister-in-law just happened to want to join my very first challenge group I did, so I signed her up as a coach. And then my husband, my coach strongly encouraged me to do that, so I did that as well. I signed up my husband. So there's actually a lot of great benefits to having people that you know, because I have control over my husband's account and my sister-in-law's account with her permission, and that is actually how I got to Diamond, which is, I'm not going to explain all that now. And then also too, once, you know, with your spouse or your significant other, when you start building volume underneath them and putting customers underneath them, not only will you get the commission from that customer, but then you'll also cycle bonus and get the extra $14. So, and I know it's very scary in the beginning because that's an extra $15.95 a month, and that's an extra 50 PV that you have to get a month. But believe me, this is like, when you become a coach, you're basically starting your own business. So it's a little bit of an investment in the beginning for long-term gain, if that makes sense. So Kathleen, in the video that I posted, I think either today or yesterday, she explains it a lot better than I just did. Do you guys have any questions about that?
No, I just think it's more absorbing it and getting it in.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And believe me when I tell you, it took me so long. So go back, read the post of this week, and, you know, just try and understand Emerald. And then I'm not going to go into detail about Diamond, but Diamond, your cycle bonuses go up to $18. So it's just a really, and to get to Diamond, it's 4 coaches on each leg, and 1 on each leg has to be Emerald. And again, like, I built up my sister-in-law and my husband as emeralds to get to diamond. So it just gives you 2 accounts that have control over. So the last thing that I wanted to talk about is events and how important events are. So Summit is coming up in July, which is the biggest, basically the Beachbody convention that they recommend that every single coach get to. I didn't go last year to my first Summit, and I now regret it. They say like everybody who go, not everybody, but the majority of coaches that go to Summit actually double their business when they come back. There's tons of coach trainings. You just meet other coaches. You do live workouts with all the celebrity trainers. Shaun T, I cannot wait to work out with him. Autumn Calabrese, and they're just really, it's just a really good thing to try and get to. And then every quarter, we have what we call Super Saturday, and there's Super Saturdays all over the place. Some cities have Super Sundays, Super Fridays, but they're held the same weekend, and those are usually more local. There's one here in Pittsburgh, and you can find one near you. The next one, I think, is right when we come back from Summit in July. And those, I remember my very first Super Saturday, and I just remember I get so inspired at these events because I always learn so much, and I always have so many aha moments from these events. And my very first one that I went to was, they usually have 2 people speak, share their story. And there's this one lady who shared her story about how she was like over 300 pounds when she first picked up one of our workout videos. I think it was Turbo Fire. Anybody who knows Turbo Fire, it's extremely fast. And she's like, the only thing I can do is lift my leg on the couch. And then as she worked out, she just kept getting stronger and stronger. And she went from one program to the next. And you should have seen her and how amazing she looked. I was just so inspired by her because, being that overweight is just it's so hard to commit to that weight loss journey. But anyway, I was just so impressed that, our products helped her with that, and our challenge groups helped her with that. And she also said if it wasn't for the challenge group, she would have given up. And they always have like a coach training coach trainings at these events where you can always continue your education on how we can further our business. Corporate usually sends a video, reviewing their latest launches. Like this past one that I went to, they talked about size and Beachbody performance shakes. So they're just, and then you do a live workout, which I feel is the best part for me. You get like tons of people in a room and do a live workout, and it's just, a lot of fun. So I really encourage you guys to try and go to, events. And then, of course, the trip that we can earn each year. Everybody just came back from Cancun, and I'm just so jealous I didn't get to go. But so just very, 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 very important. So the last thing that I want to say is being a health and fitness coach, we get into it, we're excited, we're starting something new, and then it's just so easy to get discouraged. Am I good at this? Am I meant to do this? You start getting a lot of no's, a lot of objections, and it's just so easy to quit, especially as a new coach in the beginning. So what I want to tell you is that if you follow what we tell you, if you are the product of the product, if you invite and to our challenge groups and build relationships and connect with people, if you post 3 to 5 times a day on Facebook and share your story, not only about working out, but about whatever that you think would, share value with people, a recipe, whatever. If you, if you read personal development is key. If you do all these things, you will succeed. This is not a get rich quick thing. It's not gonna happen overnight. It's with every new business. It's gonna start out slow in the beginning, but then you're gonna see it's gonna be the compound effect. every day, every month, every year, you're going to see a big improvement. And if you can last through this first year of being a health and fitness coach, you'll be amazed at how far you've come. So what I'm asking you guys, or what I'm challenging you guys to do, is to trust the process. Read the book, The Compound Effect. That had a huge impact on me. And understanding why each time I post, you know, what's that doing? It's planting a seed in a person's head. Every time I message somebody just to ask them how they're doing, it's planting a seed in their head. Every time I invite to a challenge group, it's planting a seed in the head. So I always say this is not a business just for today. This is a business for the long run. So if they're not ready to join your challenge group now, if they're not ready to, you know, lose weight now, or to start a, you know, a health and fitness journey, because it's not always about losing weight, in a year from now, 2 years from now, in a month from now, they'll think of you. They'll think of you because you're sharing their story. You're inviting them to their groups, and they're going to come to you. And those no's that those objections that you're getting right now will turn into yeses. So I'm asking you guys to hang in there and, you know, do what you can to learn on how to improve yourself as a health and fitness coach. And you'll be so surprised in a year how far you'll soar. And in 3 years, you can be financially free and earn a 6-figure income if you keep doing all this. Alyssa Shoemaker, we're going to get cut off here in a second, but Alyssa Shoemaker, you know, earned 6 figures in 2 years. It's possible. Melanie Mitchell, 3 years, she's in the Millionaires Club. So we're going to get kicked off. So have an awesome night, and I'll see you soon, guys.
Bye, Shannon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.